Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Monday edition of Today in Sports Betting. Everybody's all excited. It's the winter solstice, Scott. Did you know that?
I did not, but I do know that the NBA starts tomorrow. So it seems like after all of the, I'd say, interesting times we had over the course of the year, right around the end, you kind of have some of the sports coming back together on the calendar. So I can't really complain too much.
That's right.
Having said that, winter solstice, very nice.
It's the shortest day of the year. So,
I'm going to go on a hunch that it's 24 hours. See what I did there?
That's what I always say when everybody says it's the shortest day of the year. Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's the least amount of daylight we're going to have.
But these 24 hours just fly right by.
Well, a lot of them are spent in darkness, I guess, is the whole point of the winter solstice. So, it's also Christmas this week. Is Hanukkah over yet?
Yeah, Hanukkah ended already.
Okay, so you got nothing to look forward to?
I got New Year's.
Okay, well, that's a good point. You guys don't exchange Christmas gifts at all, right?
No, they do Hanukkah gifts instead, but I didn't get anything because, of course, I'm a little bit too old for that.
You're too old for Hanukkah gifts?
No, I don't really ask for much. I'm kind of I'm a low maintenance guy. I think you know that about me.
Could you ask for 6 things instead of 8 things?
I could. I can trim some stuff off the top and maybe get 4.5.
What's the over under on number of presents Reichel gets? 3.5.
Easy under. Easy under. Not even a discussion because I don't ask for anything. I'm not the kind of guy who's constantly asking for a bunch of stuff. It's just if you want to get me this, cool. If not, whatever. It's fine.
Oh, that is such the wrong attitude.
It's a very wrong attitude, but I'm just not that kind of guy.
I can tell you, as you get older, people are not more likely to buy you presents.
That's definitely fair.
That window, I guess for you, it's already shut. I was going to say, if that window is certainly closing for you, my friend, to get to ask for presents. So
I think I got like one gift, but it wasn't a bit. I think that's it.
Did you get socks?
No, that's a Christmas thing.
Oh,
no, that is not a Hanukkah tradition there.
I figured you might get one sock on.
I don't think socks were invented yet during the time that Hanukkah.
The way that goes, they had the Maccabees didn't have socks.
I don't think they did.
Okay,
they just had olive oil.
Did you get your PS5 yet?
I did not.
Or are you an Xbox One guy?
Truth is, I haven't played video games in over a year or so. Used to be very into it, and then I kind of fell out in college. But used to. You dabble a little bit with all the kids around?
No, we played a little. We had an Xbox. I guess I still have an Xbox around here somewhere. But yeah, we once the kids moved out, my video game. I like to play weird stuff like golf. We had a Tiger Woods golf. I like that. But
okay, nice. His son is going to be pretty good in about 7 years.
Oh yeah. He looks like he's going to be just fine. So.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we put it off as long as we could. I guess we've got to talk about this game tonight, huh? Another barn burner from the NFL.
Can't really say no. I mean, I was spoiled yesterday with Browns Giants, and now I got to come back right here with Steelers and Bengals.
That's quite a double play there.
It is, especially when you compare the scores of the finished product of yesterday's game, or whatever you want to call it, to what we're expecting from this game. Having said that, at least Freddie Kitchens is not calling plays, so maybe they won't fake punts and fake field goals inside
the AFC North.
Who fakes a field goal inside the 5-yard line?
The Giants.
I guess Freddie Kitchens, man. He had to make his imprint somewhere.
Oh my goodness, that was an ugly game. I kind of kept up with it on my phone. We drove around and looked at Christmas lights. So
the game was so ugly, I didn't realize that Mayfield had 5 incompletions the entire game.
Yeah, he was 28 for 33, 27 for 32, something like that.
27 for 32. It was just a matter of, it's like, oh yeah, he has 5 incompletions. I'm like, really? I haven't even noticed. I've been sleeping since the first quarter.
I saw his QBR was over 90. I'm like, what did he do? And then I looked at his stats.
I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh, the Browns keep having 90-yard drives. And it's like, oh, no, Mayfield hasn't thrown incompletion for about 3 quarters. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. I didn't even notice because the game was so bad.
Tonight, Scott, we get to see a quarterback. I believe this is correct, that it has a QBR so far this year of 1.1.
Well, Dwayne Haskins played yesterday, so.
Good night, folks. I'll be here all week. You guys take care.
He actually almost had a comeback yesterday. I'll give him props for that. But no, Brian Finley is undeserving of a roster sport.
I'm not sure I would say that about a second-year player yet that was drafted. He was fourth round draft pick out of NC State.
Last year he struggled, but once again, you can make the argument with the rookies and the transition. But what he
he's
came
a good
in
guy for the practice squad. But
it came in relief against the Cowboys. 1 for 2, got sacked twice. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's thrown 19 passes this year. He's got picked off twice.
Okay.
So you extrapolate that out to 400 attempts, and it ain't pretty.
Well, it's a good thing he's not facing an elite level defense or anything like that tonight.
Yeah, that would be a real problem.
Yeah.
All right. So what we've got here is we've got the Steelers, we've got the Bengals. The total in this one is a positively 1980s, like 40.5. Steelers favored by 14 and a half now. It's actually gone up. I've got a premium on the side, Scott. We can talk about this total a little bit. We also talked about one of our favorite plays is the Cincinnati team total under. I think you and I are agreed on this. It's going to be hard for this Cincinnati team to put any points on the board. Mixon's out, of course. Burrow's out. You've got your full complement of receivers with T. Higgins and AJ Green. Did any of that matter when you have Ryan Finley behind the center?
I don't think it really matters much anyway because of the fact that A, Finley's not very good. B, he's not mobile at all. And so Cincinnati's offensive line, if they can't hold Pittsburgh's defensive line, which, shocker, I don't think they will,
right,
Finley can't exactly extend plays because he's a stiff back there. And third of all, if you have a lot of good receivers, but you're forced to throw checkdowns the entire game because you're afraid of the pass rush, I don't see you scoring many points.
Are you afraid of that 40.5?
Well, I have a play of the day on it, so no, not really.
Yeah, I do too. I think we're both on the under here.
Yeah, I can't really say no to that. I don't want the over. I'll tell you that much.
I would consider playing the Cincinnati team total under 13.5. It's pretty heavily juiced at this point. It's probably 13 in a lot of places, but you can still get it at Bet Online. Under 13.5 minus 135.
It's a good deal.
I think that's solid. I just don't see. I certainly don't see the Bengals putting up 2 touchdowns in this game. I think it's possible they put up a touchdown and a field goal, maybe even 2 field goals if they get a fumble or something like that.
I think if you wanted to go potentially for a riskier hedge on your under, if you think it's too low, you can take the under and then take defensive touchdown.
Yeah. You're not getting a great price on defensive touchdown. The last time I saw it was like plus 170, 180. Have you seen?
You probably shouldn't get a great price on it because of the Steelers and who's playing quarterback.
Yeah, agreed. This is a Steelers team that's pretty healthy, other than obviously Bud Dupree being out, and they're missing James Conner. But we've talked about this a lot.
Is Conner officially out or he's questionable?
I believe he's out. Let me see what I've got here.
I thought he was questionable, but
I don't care.
Truth is, I think Snell's going to handle a decent portion of the touches anyway, and they can't run the ball no matter what. So it's not Connor might sound like a big name because of how well he played in a couple of games last year, etc. He's been pretty underwhelming this year, and the Steelers can't run the ball. So I don't think it really matters who's in the backfield. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I'm not a.
Cincinnati's not a good run defense.
I'm not a Connor guy at all.
Cincinnati can't stop the run, but Pittsburgh can't run. So I don't think that's really going to matter.
Yeah.
But I think Snell's okay. I think Connor's okay. I don't think any of them are great by any means. So I don't think.
And on the defensive side, you've got Tuitt and you've got of course J.J. Watt, both full strength for this one. They're missing Spillane. Under normal circumstances that would hurt. Missing Dupree, of course, that's going to hurt.
Joe Hayden's still questionable for you, right?
I got Joe Hayden. No designation right now.
Okay, I think he's going to play anyway. But either way, that's a huge addition for Pittsburgh. I mean, we talked about the receiving corps for Cincinnati and how they might not be able to protect Finley, but they still have a couple of weapons out there. Is Hayden still one of the most underrated corners in the league?
Yes.
I feel like he's been underrated for the last decade or so, and nobody has learned that he's been really good for a really long time.
Well, and you can tell how good Joe Hayden is because you see how much play Steven Nelson gets.
Yeah.
And Steven Nelson was a guy that came from the Chiefs and, always underperformed here. So That's definitely the weak corner there. We got Mika Fitzpatrick is just a monster.
He's a monster, and you look at everybody else there. Of course, Devin Bush getting injured earlier in the year didn't help either.
Nope.
But it's just a matter of looking at this defense from top to bottom and looking at Cincinnati's offensive line and their quarterback and even their running game, which is non-existent at all. We're talking about Pittsburgh's non-existent running game. Cincinnati's got nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
So I can't really give a case for Cincinnati here. I know that a lot of people will only be on Pittsburgh. The only case that I have is that Pittsburgh has been awful lately. Do you really want to lay 14.5 in a division road game? And that's the tricky part. I think that the spread is big for a team that's in the middle of a losing streak, but Cincinnati is so beyond bad.
Yeah. It's always tough. It's always tough, or you always have to at least give pause anytime you're going to what I call thread the needle, where you're going to take an under and take a big spread.
Now that the Jets have actually won a game, is Cincinnati now without Burrow the worst team in the league? Mm-hmm. I think they might be.
Yes.
They are awful.
That looked like a competent NFL team yesterday that played the Rams.
The thing about the Jets is that they aren't competent from a head coaching perspective. When you look at them play, occasionally they'll piece a good game together, like how Jacksonville went to 2 overtime games. Like occasionally they'll figure, or 1 overtime game and 1 missed 2-point conversion.
And beat the Colts.
Yeah. Well, that Colts one I think was a fluke, but yes. But still, it's just a matter of looking at Cincinnati. What exactly have they showed lately? I mean, you're looking at their performances here. You ended up losing by 23 to Dallas. You scored 7 points against Dallas.
Yeah.
You lost 19-7 against the Dolphins. You lost 19-17 against the Giants. That was Allen's first game. That was a late garbage time touchdown there to cut it to 1 score late. So it was kind of 19-10 late in that game. This offense just can't score. I mean, they've scored they've scored 17 points once in their last 5 games. It's just a matter of looking at Cincinnati and going, I don't know how many points Pittsburgh needs to cover this number. Like, Pittsburgh can only score 20, and they can still cover. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, here's the thing with Cincinnati. They Burrow went out 4 games ago. He went out with 9 minutes left in the third quarter against Washington. So counting that third quarter, without Burrow, they played 14 quarters of football. Scott, they put up 31 points.
They can't score.
They can't score. It's tough to win when you can't score. There's your soundbite for the day. There's the one you want to remember, kids. It's tough to win when you can't score.
I think the only way you could take Cincinnati is if you buy into Tomlin's teams always underperform against bad teams. You play that angle. And I think that's even stretching it because, Pittsburgh's desperate for a win. And I know that you can make the argument that teams are always trying to win. Is Cincinnati actively trying to win? I don't know. I really don't know. And Pittsburgh, is because they're trying to fend off Buffalo.
Yes.
And trying to fight for the second spot. So they're still playing for a lot. Plus, I don't think they fully wrapped up the division yet.
No, we talk about that from a motivation angle. When you say one team is motivated and another team isn't.
That's why I bring it up, because usually it's a cliche thing that doesn't apply at all. Right. I think in this case it actually does.
Yeah, I think you do have some guys playing out the string. It's hard to. I mean, even if they play hard with the talent level they have, it's just such a drop off from one team to the next year.
It is. I mean, the only thing you have to wonder is if Pittsburgh can actually manufacture enough points offensively to cover. I don't know if they can, because Cincinnati's defense has played better lately as well. I know they gave up 30 to Dallas, but you had a defensive touchdown in there, a couple really bad turnovers. So it's a couple short fields here and there. But
yeah, I mean, this is a Pittsburgh team that's put up just 51 points in their last 3 games.
Their offense is awful also. They've also had a really tough schedule, though.
Well, those 3 games especially, they've played 3 defenses that are a little bit better than Cincinnati, as they played Washington, Baltimore, and Buffalo.
Buffalo's was bad in the beginning of the year. They've kind of started to rectify that a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think Pittsburgh's offense will look better, but I'm not going to pencil them in for a guaranteed over on their team total.
No, I like the Cincinnati team total under much better than I like the Steelers team total over.
I agree. I think Pittsburgh could easily finish the game with 24 points and just say, all right, we're up 17 in the fourth quarter. Why bother?
Yeah, very, very true. So there you go, kids. That's our thoughts here today. Like I said, if you guys I do have a couple premium plays locked and loaded here. I got one on this game. I got one on the bowl game. Scott and I both like the under here, in spite of the number being 40.5, which really hasn't moved much, Scott.
No, not really.
All right, so let's talk about real quick about this bowl game here.
Yes, I know it's going to be starting in about 3 hours or so, so hopefully it gets out on time. But
yeah, for most bowl games, we're going to do separate videos, but this one's a little bit different because it's a 2:30 Eastern time start.
We figured it wouldn't be worth it to make a separate video for it to be out maybe half an hour before the game starts. We just didn't think it would really make much sense.
Right. The big news here is for North Texas is, of course, their leading receiver he's going to be out. He opted out to prepare for the NFL draft. 19 touchdowns, and the other thing, and this information just came out. Of course, it came out after I made my video. Is their starting quarterback, the one that can actually throw the football, is going to be out for this one as well.
Yes, which means they're going back to Bean after he got benched after a couple of pretty lackluster performances in the past. He can run, can't really throw. App State's defense definitely not great. North Texas's defense, bottom 10 in the country guaranteed.
Yeah,
they're awful. I mean, you gave up 43 points to UTEP. I think that speaks for itself.
Yep.
Yeah, based on this one, you have seen a lot of money towards the over. It's gone from 62 to 67.5, mostly because of what we just said about North Texas defense. App State can go for 52 in this. It really wouldn't surprise me. For this one, I'm going to lean to the over because, it's North Texas. I kind of have to. And for the actual spreads, the full game at 21, I think, is a little bit, I don't know, I think it's too high for my blood. I actually like the first half at 11.5, especially with North Texas going back to a quarterback who hasn't played regular snaps for a couple weeks, and they're right without their number one weapon. I wouldn't be surprised to see North Texas offense kind of stumble a bit out of the gates, and this defense is going to stumble out of the gates. So for me, it wouldn't surprise me if Appalachian State just blows it open early, and then we'll see kind of a shootout in the second half. But it wouldn't surprise me if App State gets off to a hot start against this terrible defense, and North Texas has a little bit of trouble in the first quarter adjusting, because it's one thing if you're missing your starting quarterback, which of course is never ideal. If you're also missing your number one receiver, you lose a ton of just all the reps and everything you've done the entire year just doesn't apply anymore because your number one receiver is not there. It's a huge factor for me. So I would lean to App State in the first half.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, then that's, when we talk about, a team's number one receiver, Jalen Darden led the nation in touchdown passes.
The team was terrible, but he had 19 touchdowns.
And 19 touchdown passes, right? He's going to, I don't know, what do you call him? Fourth round next year? Third, fourth round?
Probably. I don't think he'll end up going in the first day, of course. It really depends on the combine as well, which a lot of scouts, of course, place a lot of, value in.
Right.
I think he's very talented, of course. Then again, he also plays in kind of a joke of a conference in terms of defense. So I'm not going to buy into it that much, but he's talented if you watch him.
I think he'll be on the Sunday roster.
He will be. I think worst case is you can throw him at special teams and just say, make something happen.
The other thing about this North Texas team is, they can run the ball a little bit. They still, for all you think of them throwing the ball down the field, they still run the ball more than they pass it. And their top three running backs all average 5 yards or more.
Plus Bean can also run.
That's right. That's the advantage that you get with Bean as opposed to On. Is Bean can actually run the football. He averages about 7 yards a carry. So
every time he throws the ball, though, if you take North Texas, you're going to be holding your breath. And I think you'll agree with me on that.
Yeah, I want to really like this App State defense. They're
not a good defense in comparison to normal App State defenses.
No, that's right. They're a decent defense on the whole, but compared to what you think of when you think to an App State defense, they do have holes. They can be beat. So, final play on this one. What do you got?
I'd lean to the over, and I'd lean to App State on the first half.
Okay.
Do you agree with that first half move? Because I really wouldn't be surprised to see North Texas struggle out of the gate.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I think,
and North Texas isn't getting any stops.
I think if you take the mean green plus your 21 points, and you go down 28 or 31, don't panic, because I think it's possible the back door flies open there at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's how I see
it. This North Texas team, I've played them a couple times this year, and the one thing they don't quit. They can be down 20 points, 30 points. It doesn't matter.
They will give up points for all 60 minutes.
Yeah.
They don't give up.
Well, that's true too. So,
Yeah.
we've got 2 totals today. Both of them are kind of scary numbers, but we're gonna ride the trends on both of them as far as I
I
know.
kind of have to. I know that it sucks to miss out on roughly 5.5 points of value, so that's never ideal. But at the end of the day, I can't take the under with the North.
Yeah, I've got a premium on the total. I like this North Texas State team to sneak in. I think App State's been kind of had a disappointing season, and I think North Texas. I think at the end of the game, I think they get it within the spread.
That's fair. I think the first half turns into a bit of a rout.
All right, fair enough. And I like your first half play. I think that's fair enough. I think that's good. I think that's solid. So
Cool.
All right, guys, there you go. That's going to kick off our Monday of Christmas week here. We'll be back tomorrow to talk a little, maybe a little NBA. Scott, see what you got cooked up. Maybe a play of the day on the NBA tomorrow. Then we'll talk about it. We've got 2 more bowl games. Yeah, should be exciting. We got a week chock full of videos, my friend.
Yep, looking forward to it. I know that I'm going to be doing probably bonus videos every day now because I have the college basketball, usually an NFL or primetime game, and then now I'm going to be adding an NBA play almost every day. So
that's a good time to segue right into the fact that you guys should subscribe because you get you click that bell, you get notified each and every time we put up brand new content, and you never know when those videos are going to pop up. I'm going to be doing individual bowl games myself, videos on each of those, so make sure you check into that. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, so it's a good time to be the old Winners and Whiners team. By the way, thanks to all of our viewers out there. We recently went over 10,000 subscribers this weekend. Kind of a humbling thing. Very excited about that. So appreciate each and every one of you that watch and check us out. And hey, don't forget to drop your play in the comment section. What do you got going? You guys tailing us? You fading us? You got some different thoughts here? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your opinions. So put them in the comment section. And yeah, of course, as bowl games approach, the NBA gets going. It's a great time to remind you to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game going on every single day, regardless of the sport. College football, bowl season, college basketball, NBA, NFL. It is truly your one-stop shop for all things sports handicapping. So check out winnersandwhiners.com. And that's going to do it for us today. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com. Appreciate you watching. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.